team on the road. Got out of Western Illinois fairly healthy, nothing really of significant. A couple guys had some things on Saturday, but to have that extra day of prep, and then obviously today with the holiday, we can kind of take advantage of an NCAA rule that allows our guys to come over today and work a little bit more. So we'll get with them. We put the game to bed on Saturday morning, came in and got a lift in, and then watched the Western Illinois film, had a little dinner, and then turned the page into Duke. Got some jump on them on Saturday. We'll get a little bit out there today with them of early down preparation, just to a couple of the special teams phases, but get a little bit of a jump. And then obviously game week to be on the road, it's always a lot of challenges, not only just being on the road, but what that brings. Obviously a grass game as well, even though it looks like turf, their turf looks unbelievable. That grass looks really good, but obviously temperature is going to be a little different there. A couple other things that we got to factor into, just traveling for the first time, even though we got a lot of guys that are back from a year ago. We got new guys traveling with us for the first time, so it'll be the first time that some of the transfers, Aaron just talked about those three guys up front on defense. First time Tommy, Kurt, and James, Leon Lowry, Hudson Clement, a lot of different guys on the offense. Jay Bo, it's the first time they've traveled with us, right? And sometimes there's this thing with transfers where everybody does it the same, so they just think what we did where they came from is what we're going to do here, and obviously we're just dramatically different. So super excited to have that challenge this week and get that going for us. Thought our guys really bought into the Western Illinois prep. We talked about respect, all fear, none, and I thought they really took that challenge. So after putting the game to bed, jumping into Duke, a very talented football team, having an incredible amount of respect for him. I've known Manny for a long time, defensive guy. So ironically, Trent Harris, who's on our program now, the first time I ever heard or did research on Trent, Manny was the defense coordinator at Miami, and he made reference to how Trent played and who he was and what he was, and that's when I first met Trent, and then obviously that led to the bridge that brought him here. So kind of a crazy way the world connects. I'm really excited to get out there and play a good team on the road and really see exactly what we got from our guys. So with that, open it up for some questions.
I know you mentioned on Friday night you didn't expect Juice Clark this coming. Is that still the
There
case?
is a chance. Yep. They didn't want to rule it out. We met on Saturday. We had those lifts early morning, and then I let Chase go through the process. And Juice did start running, but he isn't cleared for practice tomorrow. If we haven't had him out in practice by Thursday, I don't know if he'll be at the game. But I did the good thing, as bad as it is, right? Like we'd love to have Juice with us, but he unfortunately strained that thing probably 2 weeks out from game day, so he's been recovering for a long time. You guys maybe just found out that day. He had not been with us game plan wise for the last 2 weeks, so it allowed a lot of the guys to get reps.
Right, in camp, it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Any update on him and Dez Schuster's emergence? What's that meant for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Aiden, absolutely. Aiden had surgery, I believe, 2 weeks ago. Projected to be out 3 to 6 weeks, so I don't think he'll be with us this week, but there is a good chance that he could be with us for sure by Big Ten play. And then, Dez, Dez was a guy that we've been high on ever since he got here. Unfortunately, last year as we started getting into winter workouts, he had a shoulder that was just giving him trouble. We went in and took a peek at it and just figured it was best to get that thing cleaned up. Unfortunately, that took him out of spring ball, took him through the majority of the summer, and then he got cleared literally right before we started our fall camp, and has really been a guy. I think he actually had to miss the first week until the 6-month mark hit, and once he jumped in the very first day of practice, everybody's kind of like, whoa, this is the guy we've recruited. And when Melvin got rolled up the other day, he was the first to go in there and did a really good job on his first play. So super excited. I think he gives us depth at a position we really, really needed it. And then, believe me, I'm concentrating on 2025, but here's a guy that's got a couple years of eligibility that if he could play for us and do some good things for us this year, it bodes well for the future.
Aaron mentioned that Darian Mensah be one of the, in that group of better quarterbacks that he's seen since he's been here. Just what stands out to you?
Yeah, well, so I started watching his film from Tulane, right, and just extremely gifted, athletic, smooth, reads things extremely well, has the ability to escape. I wouldn't classify him as a runner, but he definitely can run and escape and make things happen with his feet. You can see they're using him in a way that they recruit him for a reason. Got some good players around him. I think they've added a couple transfer guys in the receiving core and in the running back room. Obviously instilled a starter at day one left guard. So had 4 of the 5 back up front, but I think they knew they had a good offensive line coming back and they wanted to secure that QB position. He's obviously one of the best in the country.
You said you guys travel dramatically different? Like, what do you do that's different about your travel process?
I don't want to give away the recipe too much, but we do a way of traveling that I think they've grown accustomed to doing here. We try to keep our home games as similar as we can to road games, so we have the same routine. When we come over here for our home games, we do a road game until instead of hopping on the bus and go to the Champaign Country Club, we hop on a bus, hop on a plane and fly to where we're going. And then the routine of Friday night never varies, and actually the routine of Saturday, whether it's an 11 a.m. kickoff, which we got noon kickoff there, right? But whether it's an early kickoff, midday kickoff, or an evening kickoff, we kind of have the same regimented routine. And again, you hear our guys say routine a lot because I believe it is. The more you do something consistently well, the better you'll play on that, or the better you'll have a chance of performing with some consistency, and our guys really buy into it.
Right, obviously, Tommy Law flashed his
Yeah.
raw talent the other day. What's the key for you guys as staff to tapping into that?
Well, we tried to get Tommy Watt, more than one time. I was very intrigued when he was coming out of Kentucky even, and before he went to Florida State, and to get him here on campus, he flashed early. I think there's some things he needed to work through personally with us, and I was very direct with him a couple times, I think when you get a player that has a certain level of ability and they haven't manifested yet, there's usually three things that hold them back. It's either the system they're in, the environment they're in, or the person they're being, right? And obviously in our system, he'd never been in that approach. The ability that he has was really at a high level, and I think he just needed to learn to play to a certain level and have an accountability. So even though there's some bumps in the road, I think he's really snapped into that. I grabbed him the day after the game. I said, my friend, like I told you, if this is what you want to do, this is a place you can do it in. And it was fun to see him come to life a little bit. Really, that group up front, we played a lot of guys, which is going to be important this week. Hopefully he's a guy that continues to grow.
Was your big jump from playing an FCS opponent to power forward team on the road? How valuable was the film against Western, and what are some of the things you think you have to clean up this week?
Yeah, it's for us. How I've done things, how we've been able to do it. It plays into us similar to last year, right? We played an early game against Eastern Illinois and came back and played against Kansas. So obviously Western Illinois, we knew it was an FCS opponent as well, and what that meant and how that had to play out, how our preparation played into it. Now we're going on the road instead of at home, but I have a lot of respect. Obviously, Duke, they were playing Thursday night before our game, right? So we had a chance to peek at them a little bit, and I think those first games are always good things to get through, and fortunately get out healthy and with a W like they did as well. And how the big jump, in coaching, it's not just coach speak, right? I think you do usually have a huge jump from game one to game two just because it's the second time you've gone through, but it's not the game, it's the routine, right? So like I told them, like, hey, this should be the best Tuesday of the year tomorrow, right? Like it's our best Tuesday practice. It's only our second one, so it needs to be better than last Tuesday. And if that happens, then you got a better chance at Wednesday, better chance at Thursday, and better chance at Saturday. And that's just how it works.
You played three safeties quite a bit, I guess, against Western. How much has Mac maybe made that decision where you just have to get all of them on the field?
Yeah, I think Mac is just kind of every day I watch him do something. I'm like, holy cow, right? Like he's just very, very gifted, very talented. It allows us to roll guys. Has the ability. Obviously, Aaron has a little package that has him, Mac, and Miles, and Matt. All three guys using their abilities. But Mac probably him and Tanner Heckel might be two of our most explosive players on our football team. I think they just get the stereotype of being the Central Illinois kid from a small school that maybe didn't get overly recruited. Having certain abilities and skill sets, but I mean, there isn't, I promise you, there isn't too many times I don't go in that building during the out of season. It could be an 8 o'clock, grab something in the office and Mac will be in the weight room. I mean, he's just always in that building. He's always doing something to make himself better. Incredibly intelligent player. He does a lot of really good things with his mind as well as his athleticism. So, yeah, the sky's the limit for that guy, and very, very valuable player for our football team.
Talked a lot about 12 personnel going into it. We saw a lot of 13 on Friday night. What do you like about that, and how does your tight end room?
Yeah, it's it's for the first time in our time frame of being here that I've had a group of tight ends that I felt could be that impactful in our game. I think Cole got in there, got his feet wet, was awesome, right? That's the first time he's played football in a long time. And then Stoff and Christian Abdi, both those guys had not played for us, so to get those three guys involved in the game plan, I'm telling you, Jordan Anderson is just another guy that just continues to impress us and give us his skill set. Tanner Arkin was as good as he's ever been. we actually probably can help Tanner play better by playing him less, as crazy as that sounds, right? Like I think we overtaxed him last year, so to roll guys through there and to have 5 tight ends that can kind of go in there and you feel pretty good about them being able to play championship level football or winning football at this type of program is a good feeling. I think Barry really felt it as a play caller, so super excited about that. But I would also tell you that those wide receivers played a lot of guys, but without a doubt, I think Colin Dixon and Hank Beatty are 2 very talented players that didn't get a lot of reps. Hank obviously made production out of the opportunities he got, but I was excited to see the growth of Hudson Clement. Obviously, J-Bo did some good things, and then both Kafka Jones and Malik did some really good things, and it's kind of cool to see Rio get in there on that last play and make it. So we got a bunch of guys out there on the perimeter that can play, and excited to see them grow.
Coach, during your time, both here and other stops, what's been the kind of key when you go on the road against a Power 4 team? What's a key or two that really makes the difference?
Well, I think actually, for me in my coaching career and playing career, I actually kind of like being on the road. Now we got a home field advantage here, so it's a different animal, right? Now we got something going here that's pretty awesome. But I would say one of the things that going on the road allows you to do is allows you to come together as a group, right? I remember when I first went on the road our first year, I really talked about it that Penn State week. I could feel things coming together, and I'm like, hey, you're going to go in there, you're going to be up against 110,000. The only people that are going to be cheering for us are the 74 guys that travel and all the support staff on that sideline, and it has a chance to bond you together, right? And play in an environment and atmosphere that is new and foreign, so you got to really concentrate on the details, but that's got to happen during the week, right? I'm excited because it's the first time we get to go on the road with this crew. We got some big ones coming up down the stretch, and for us to be better, our next road game against Indiana, right? Like we got to be really good this week to set the bar. So really excited about Duke. I think they're a very good football team. Defensively, they're very productive. Obviously, a quarterback that is as special as they come. They got to look good in the run game. Some stuff that really popped up. They got 4 of their 5 offensive linemen. So really excited about the challenge we got this week.
Bret, you said you've known Manny for quite a long time. Yeah. This is his obviously second go around as a head coach. I'm curious, in your career, what have you taken from your experiences, whether it's a DC or a head coach or in the NFL, that have allowed you to kind of be prepared for this moment and this opportunity?
Yeah, so Manny's an incredibly intelligent dude. He kind of has a defense philosophy a little bit different than ours. He's back when he was at Texas and all the places he'd been, he's just very creative with his production. His kids play 100 miles an hour on defense. They can easily see that. Now he's putting the touches on his offense as well. Obviously the things that he was able to acquire during the portal world. I think he's got an environment there that he's building it up. Obviously, to win 9 games a year ago is very impressive, and to have as many players come back. So everybody's a little bit uniquely different. Manny has been a guy that's been resilient. When he was at Penn State, the way that they played, I thought was one of the major reasons when they made a big jump, and that's what led to the opportunity that he had here at Duke. And fortunately or unfortunately, however I want to say it, we got an incredible challenge in front of us Saturday.
You mentioned
One more after this one.
what's it mean to see that kind of support?
Well, Josh actually said something, about 2 weeks prior. I knew that, we had done some things in ticket sales for USC and Ohio State and all that stuff, and he's like, hey, we may get close to 11,000 students here, right, for a game, and I'm just like I knew that was a big number. Like even when I was at my other places, like that would be a really big student number, right? And they really do bring the energy, right? So I think, and the one thing that always has meant a lot to me, especially as a head coach, is you could see the way our players identify with the students. When there was a big play on Saturday, no matter which way it was going, our players always faced the student section, right? And engage them. And I mean, it sounds silly, right? But they have commonalities with them, right? They see them at classes, right? Hopefully classes. They see them in everyday life, right? They knew that they had a long weekend and they didn't have class today, right? Like there's a bonding and a connection, and ultimately those students really become alumni, and those alumni become your future season ticket holders, right? And the places that I've been, that Josh, brought me here, the Iowas, the Kansas States, the Wisconsin, you had a really proud fan student base, right? That grows into alumni, and that's how you cultivate and build something for a long time. And I would even argue that like our crowd kind of plays off the students as well, right? When they're engaged and they're in it. So yeah, super excited for not just our football program, but this university. I know we have more applications than any time in the University of Illinois history, and I don't think that happened by chance. Obviously, a new chancellor, a new new way of doing things in the administration level, but it's just a really fun time to be here at Illinois and on many different levels, and hopefully we can be a small part of it, because I think it does make a difference.
But I know it didn't have
Last
an
one.
impact on the outcome of the game, but what did you see go wrong on that blocked field goal attempt?
Oh, penetration, yeah, without a doubt. I think it's really good. Like, listen, I was hot at halftime. I was a little bit hot on Saturday watching things. I think teachable moments are very, very precious. There's not many times you get those, right? So to have even though it was obviously a block kick, but to have that teachable moment so that those things, we haven't had many block kicks in my time here, and I could hear it in Dish's voice on Saturday when we corrected it with the team. Like, everybody's got to hold the rope there. We went a little over, and we had two guys in there that hadn't done that yet. So to get that experience there, and to be honest, there were several things offensively, defensively, and special teams that I'm very glad it happened. It kind of was erased by the score of the game and the situation, but there were some very good teachable moments for us in all three phases. And then even as coaches, there were things that I saw, the 48 hours leading up to the game that I could easily make a correction on. And I'm glad they happened last week, and they're not going to happen this week or in the weeks ahead. So some good moments there for all of us.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.